gives the Mets the lead with a 2-run homer. He's in 2 tonight and driven in all 5 Met runs. And for the second time tonight, he puts the Mets in front.
1 out. The 2-2 from Glasnow. Swinging its launch down the right field line. That's a fair ball. Both runs are coming in. Another double for Jay Bruce. The Mets are on top 5-1 here in Pittsburgh.
This one out to left field, hit well. Parra going back to the warning track at the wall. It's out of here. Opposite field home run for Jay Bruce. Back goes Bruce on the warning track, and he made the catch. Terrific play by Bruce.
Jay Bruce, he doesn't have much to show for an 0-for-3 day. Swung and hit high, hit deep to left center. It is gone. Jay Bruce has come through again.
Ladies and gentlemen, the free agent market finally cracked yesterday. Jay Bruce reunites with his former team, the Metsies, there in Queens. Back page of the New York Post celebrating the signing yesterday. A big move for this Mets squad as their patience pays off. But are there other moves coming for the blue and orange? We're going to talk about that today on the show. Welcome to 1225 Live. I'm Alexa Datt. Jay Bruce signs a 3-year, $39 million deal there with the Metsies. Him and Yoenis Cespedes teaming back up again, and all is well there in Flushing. We'll talk if there are some more moves coming, though, for that team with Mark Feinsand, as well as how do the Mets now compete in that NL East? Are they going to wrestle the division crown away from the Nationals? So if you have any comments or thoughts about this deal, go ahead and send them our way, and we'll share them a little bit later on in the show. Also, Christian Yelich's name has been flying around, all kinds of trade rumors, but the Marlins outfielder has been very busy hanging out with his doppelganger. We're going to show you some more baseball doppelgangers today on the show. Danny and I are going to grade them. And Darvish has a scoop that no one saw coming. We'll share that with you as well. So much to get to today here on the show as we welcome in our social chair, Dani Wexelman. And Danny, it's been a crazy 24 hours for us here on the show and for the baseball market in general. We thought Garrett Cole of the Pirates was going to go to the Astros. We thought that deal was imminent. We were talking about that yesterday on the show. Turns out that's not the case. A deal could still get done, but as of now, we are just staying put.
That's right. We had our heads on a swivel trying to check Twitter as fast as we could. And sometimes in this rumor mill life, you got to just sit back and laugh. And that's exactly what Amy Cole did, Garrett Cole's wife. She took to Twitter to describe how everyone was feeling about this rumor that Garrett Cole was in fact traded. This is a first-person view of a roller coaster. And I think that's how I felt yesterday. I can probably guess you felt the same way, Lex, trying to figure out what in the world was going on. And on top of this, there was also an interaction between Trevor Williams and Derek Fisher. And as we mentioned yesterday, Derek Fisher could be part of a potential Garrett Cole trade from the Pirates. So Trevor Williams at the airport hanging out, has some time to answer questions. And Derek Fisher asks, what would you do for a Klondike bar? And Trevor says, well, better question. Are we teammates now? And Derek Fisher replies with one of those emojis, and he says, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. So Amy Cole and Derek Fisher and Trevor Williams, you won the internet yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like they all just basically in GIF and tweet form or GIF form showed us how the rest of us are feeling. Kind of nauseous, kind of excited, anticipating what's going on. Yeah, kind of clueless. And that's just how it is. But that just means that we're building up to more excitement to come.
The drama is building.
The drama is building. The drama broke a little bit for Jay Bruce yesterday, which was nice to see him reunite with his old team for the Mets. And that'll be really exciting for them there in Queens. Now, a couple of his teammates decided to let us know how they were feeling on Twitter. Jason Bradford said, Jay Bruce back to New York. I will say he is a fantastic guy and welcomed me into the clubhouse with open arms. Didn't treat me as a rookie, and we're happy to have him back with the Mets. So that was a really nice sentiment from his former and now current teammate. And Noah Syndergaard got involved too. We know he loves throwing around all kinds of jokes on Twitter, and he said, I'm happy because we got Wacky Bruce back along with the GIF there, so that was pretty fun.
And the thing, Lex, is that we're not really recognizing the real MVPs in all of this rumor. The mill, we're all caught up, but the real MVP are the fans. For you guys, for sticking out this crazy hot, cold stove that's going on. We're trying to keep up as well. So we have a tweet for you to show that it's National Milk Day. It's National Milk Day, and so we have some missing free agents. We have some guys who are still on the board because we're still waiting. And like we said, you guys are the real MVPs, but you can see here Jake Arrieta and Darvish still have a place don't have a home, don't have a place to go. Eric Hosmer, J.D. Martinez, big names. There's a lot of names out there that still have to find a home.
Yeah, we're hoping that this Jay Bruce deal at least cracks the market and all of a sudden this flood of free agents find their new homes, but we'll figure it out sooner or later.
That's right. We're all waiting. So that leads us to our question of the day.
Yeah.
So we're going to let you guys at home put on your GM hats for a moment, and we want to know, who do you think is the next free agent off the board and where are they going? There's so many options. I don't think that everyone realizes that there are still so many names left. There's the big names, and there are also the other guys like Jay Bruce. We talked about Jay Bruce way back when. I was looking back through clips, and we said, who's the first guy that we want to take? And I actually chose Jay Bruce just because the guy has great numbers. He's consistent. He's coming off one of his best years ever. So congrats to him for going there. But we still got a lot of names, guys. So if you're not on Facebook, get on Facebook now and let us know. Put your GM hat on. Who do you want to get off the board next, and where are they going to go? We're going to talk about those at the end of the show and see if they fit where you think they do.
All right, yeah, we're celebrating National Milk Day. So and we saw on that carton, Darvish, when one of the main free agents, the top guy who we feel like could land somewhere pretty soon, and he's gotten involved in the rumor mill as well. We've seen him, with rumors in the past, kind of, tell reporters what's what. Mm-hmm. And that's what I love about him. He's not afraid to go ahead and jump in and say, oh, you think that these teams are where I could possibly land? No. There's a mystery team in there, too. That's exactly what he did. We're all talking about how he narrowed his potential landing spots. The Rangers, Yankees, Cubs, Astros, and Twins. He's like, I know one more team that's in, and I'm not going to tell you. And that's my favorite part about this. He's scooping all of the reporters. And but the question is, Dani, do you buy this? Do you think that there is one more team, or do you think that he's just saying this to have some fun with us?
I think that it's really fun to stir the proverbial pot when you have the chance to do it. And we're seeing this a lot more from players on Twitter because they're not the media, they're not journalists, but they know things, and sometimes they know more than we do. I want to believe that he knows something we don't know because that makes this way more fun than the other side of it.
Sure, yeah, I want to believe it too. And I honestly do think that he does know something. Because I feel like, why else would you tweet this out? What's the purpose of trying to throw off reporters for, just for some fun?
Just for fun?
I don't know. I just feel like...
From laughs?
Yeah, and he likes to have a good time, but I think he's a little bit more serious than that. So we'll find out, I think sooner rather than later, where Darvish is going to possibly land and also who this mystery team is. So we'll talk about that.
All right, there is another guy that GMs may be calling, and I say guy, but really I should say kid. Asher Willig is taking the internet by storm, son of former major leaguer Corey Willig. And if you don't know his face, you better learn it right now, right, Lex?
Yeah, I know. I love this guy. And here was his reaction when everyone picked up the story last night, when there was, obviously the talk of him becoming such a big, big star.
Oh, see, this is not. This is right here. This is joy right here. Also, this is playing shortstop for the Marlins next year.
Is that you?
This right here.
I've never seen a kid so happy to be a TV star.
The future is here. He knows it. He knows he's a star. Yeah, it's great. Can I get your autograph? Send it to me because that kid's going places.
Future Hall of Famer.
That's right.
I believe Cut 4 called him today, right?
He should be.
Along with their article, yeah.
Dude, that kid's mashing better than I think some of the minor leaguers out there. So
calling him out.
So we'll see.
All right, Dani, we'll check back in a little bit. National Milk Day.
It is National Milk Day, yes, and we don't cry. There's no use over crying over the spilled milk. But if you are on Facebook and you put your GM hat on, let us know which free agent's coming off the board next and where they're going to go.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah.
We welcome in Mark Feinsand right now to talk about this Jay Bruce deal. And Mark, the free agent market gave us a little taste of potentially what's to come, but Jay Bruce signs a 3-year, $39 million deal with his former team. Give me your first reaction to when you heard that this was all going down.
I think it's a good deal for the Mets. They got a good value. They got a guy who's going to give them 30-plus home runs because that's his history of what he does every year. He fit in well there last year and the year before when he played there. Showed he likes New York, at least can handle the pressure of it. And, I understand his on-base percentage is nowhere near Carlos Santana's, but, they're very similar players offensively other than the on-base percentage, and the Mets got him for $21 million less than the Phillies signed Santana for. So I think it was a good addition for a team that finished 9th in the league last year in runs scored and OPS. So I liked it for the Mets.
30 years old, hit .254 with 36 home runs and 101 RBI last season with the Mets and Indians. I covered him when I was there with the Mets, and this guy is an absolute star and a huge veteran presence for that team who lost a couple of veterans in the past couple of years. So the fact that he is returning there is going to be a great addition. With Bruce returning and a healthy rotation for this Mets team, how competitive do you believe they're going to be in this division?
Well, I still think they have a ways to go to catch the Nationals unless the starting pitching stays healthy and pitches to its potential. I mean, people forget it was only 3 seasons ago, 2.5 years, that the Mets were in the World Series. So, if Syndergaard and DeGrom and Harvey and Matz can be what everybody projected they were going to be as a rotation, the Mets have a good chance to get right back there and contend with the Nationals for that division title. But no amount of offensive signings is going to change the fact that it all comes down to that rotation. Can they stay healthy? And can they be as productive as they're expected to be? If they can, the Mets are contenders. All
right, sounds good. Yeah, the health is the biggest issue there, and a lot of their training staff is brand new, so hopefully that bodes well for them this season. Let's talk about, now that the free agent market seems to have opened just a little bit, who do you believe is the next free agent coming off the board?
Well, there's no way to tell. I would guess Darvish. Certainly, it seems like he's narrowing his market down. And trolling us all on Twitter about it. So he certainly is engaged in the market, and I think there are a lot of teams vying for his services. And now that those teams are kind of out there, at least 5 of the 6, I would expect that the bidding to get pretty intense, and for him to narrow his choice down even further. So I don't think Bruce is the guy who's going to start the dominoes falling, but Darvish could be a guy who really gets things moving.
All right, Mark, it's time to play everyone's favorite segment here on 1225 Live. Feinsand or not Feinsand? I'm going to give you a question, and you're going to let us know if everything is cool or stuff's not so quite right in this situation. So first one up. If the Mets are done adding pieces after this Jay Bruce deal, everything Feinsand there in Queens or not so Feinsand?
Not so Feinsand. I think they still need to add another infielder, most likely a third baseman. There are guys who fit out there. Todd Frazier, Mike Moustakas. I think either one of those guys would fit, not needing a really long-term deal. So I do think they need at least one more infielder before everything is quite Feinsand.
What do you believe this means for Juan Lagares, by the way?
He's going to have a chance to contend in center field. I'm not sure it means all that much to him in terms of, I'm not sure he was ever really going to be the guy there, but certainly bringing Bruce back. If he's going to play in right field, there's been some talk about if Dominic Smith doesn't pan out at first base, Bruce could become a first baseman. But I think right now the plan is right field, and it probably means a bench role for Lagares.
All right, with Jay Bruce moving on from the Indians, as we all had predicted, there's a lot of uncertainty for that Indians outfield. Everything Feinsand there in Cleveland or not so Feinsand?
I think Feinsand. I think they understood where they were. I think, if Michael Brantley's healthy, you've got him and Bradley Zimmer and Lonnie Chisenhall in that outfield. Jason Kipnis is going back to the infield, but he's still an option to go to the outfield if they need him. So I think they've got a very versatile team with some guys who can move around. And I don't think there was any expectation they were going to bring him back. They replaced Santana with Yonder Alonso, so they've taken care of first base. So I think everything is Feinsand with the Indians.
And no question about their bullpen. I know they just agreed to terms with Cody Allen. That was an arbitration deal, but I feel like they lost a couple of pieces there in terms of their setup guys. Any concerns there?
Well, you've still got Andrew Miller and you've still got Cody Allen, and if that's your 1-2 punch at the back end of a bullpen, you're in pretty good shape. I think they've got enough guys there, and bullpens are something that can always be addressed in season. So I think with those 2 big arms at the end, I think they're all good right now.
All right. Yesterday, sources were saying that a deal was done, apparently, between the Astros and Garrett Cole. But then those were brought back, and now the deal is not imminent, although it could still be done, possibly here in the next couple of days. Things Feinsand here or not so Feinsand?
I would say not so Feinsand, just because enough already. If Garrett Cole's going to get traded by the Pirates, let's get him moved. Let the Pirates get their deal, move on. Because this constant every week, this team's close to getting him, that team's close to getting him. At some point, it's going to wear on him. And at some point, these other teams are going to say, all right, enough, we're moving on and going to find something else. And I think that's part of the reason as well that this free agent market is being held up, is teams are exploring all these trade options. As long as these trade options continue to linger out there, I think we're just going to be in a frozen zone here for the free agents. So I would say not Feinsand, let's get some of these trades either made or pulled off the market, and let's let everybody move on with their lives.
Do you believe that the Astros rotation is Feinsand or not Feinsand without Garrett Cole?
They don't need Garrett Cole, but they do need some other arm, whether that's Cole, whether that's Darvish, whether that's Lance Lynn or Alex Cobb. They do need to add an arm, but I don't think it has to be Garrett Cole.
All right, speaking of Darvish, the Rangers, Yankees, Cubs, Astros, and Twins are all finalists. And then Darvish went ahead and jumped in on Twitter and said, well, there's also another mystery team out there that you guys are missing. Darvish is scooping the reporters. Feinsand or not Feinsand, Mark?
Hey, he's got the best sources out of all of us, given that he's the one who's going to sign the deal. I'm Feinsand with that. Guy wants to come out and help give us news and help do our job for us. That's terrific. I will say I have to disagree with Dani. She was saying that all the folks who were tweeting about the Cole deal or non-deal won the internet. I thought Darvish won the internet yesterday. That tweet was fantastic. He's shown a real enjoyment for trolling people on Twitter. Just a couple weeks ago, he tweeted out that picture of him and John Daniels having dinner. So I love Darvish's Twitter game. I think he won the internet yesterday.
Yeah, he's a big troll and he's loving it. Do you believe that there is a mystery team or that he actually is just trolling all of us?
Oh, I'm sure there is. I mean, the Dodgers weren't on that list, and our buddy Andy McCullough out with the LA Times reported that the Dodgers are still in the mix. So certainly the team in which he ended the season with last year wouldn't surprise me if they are still in the mix for him, as Andy said. So, I believe absolutely there's another team out there.
All right, let's talk about Miami. Starlin Castro wants out, and the Marlins have already traded their 3 biggest players. They've got 2 others on the trade block. Everything Feinsand down there in Miami or not Feinsand?
I think for the Marlins, it's Feinsand. As we talked about this the last time we did this, I think it's certainly their prerogative to tear this down and rebuild the franchise in the way that they see fit as new owners. Trading Stanton, trading D. Gordon, trading Ozuna was well within their right. I never thought Starlin Castro was going to play a single game in a Marlins uniform to begin with, because I just don't see where it makes sense for the Marlins to pay him $10 million in a year that they are clearly not expecting to contend, whether they'll say that publicly or not. So I think given the Castros, 2 years away from free agency, which is probably in that time frame that they're not going to be competitive, it certainly makes sense for them to trade him. It makes sense for him to want to go elsewhere. So I have no problem with this for either side if they trade him.
All right, so Feinsand all around. I like it, considering it seems like a much bigger drama than, Mark, you're leading it on to be.
Well, the Marlins bring drama right now. That's with new ownership and a teardown and a fire sale that always happens. And, it's bound to. And as I said the last time we talked about this, the fans have every right to be upset about this. They have every right to be angry that Stanton's gone and that Ozuna's gone and that Gordon's gone and all the rest of it. But I think a new ownership group shouldn't be stuck with, decisions that the last ownership group made. So if Derek Jeter and Bruce Sherman and company want to go through the pain of a teardown and a rebuild, knowing it's not going to be popular within the market, they know what's coming. They know what the criticism they're going to take. And 3 years from now, if they're still in rebuilding mode, then they're going to take a lot of heat and a lot of criticism, and deservedly so. But 3 years from now, if they've built things up to the point where they're coming back, then I think they deserve that.
Mark, your takes are always super Feinsand here on the show. As we welcome Dani Wexelman, she's going to float up here on the show with our little 3-box.
Hey, Mark.
Hi, Dani.
So really quickly, I forgot, it's National Milk Day, and I know Alexa was trying to remind me of this, and now I realize why she said it. I have a joke. Do you want to be a part of the joke? Do you want to guess the joke?
Sure.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Here's the joke. Why did the cow cross the ocean?
I don't know.
Lex.
He was moving.
Ooh, that's really good, but the answer is to get to the udder tide.
Wait, the other tide or other side?
It says the other tide. Udder. Oh. The udder tide.
Udder.
Because it's ocean.
Udder.
Tide.
Oh, right.
That's really bad.
It is bad, but you know what's better
That's
is
really bad.
We have a fan question from Ben. This is going to turn everything around. Ben wants to know, where's Alex Cobb going to wind up?
I think I said the Twins was my latest prediction, just because they are clearly in the market for a big-time pitcher. I don't know that they're going to be able to lure Darvish or Jake Arrieta. And if they come up short on those two guys, then I think Lance Lynn or Alex Cobb, one of those two guys, winds up in Minnesota. They are very committed to adding and starting a pitcher to the top of that rotation. So I'll say the Twins.
Yeah, it'll be nice to see somebody get paired with Irvin Santana and Jose Barrios there. Pretty cool.
All right, one more, Mark, from Felipe. This is a really good question. He asks, is the patience game going to benefit the players or the owners?
I would say the owners. I think, the longer it goes and the closer you get to spring training, players are going to get antsy at some point. And, I think people looked at the Jay Bruce deal and thought the Mets got themselves a good deal. And the longer it goes, I think the more it's going to benefit the owners as far as getting better deals.
All right, Mark, before we say goodbye to you, we're talking doppelgangers here on the show, so we figured we'd let everyone know that, Mark, you have a doppelganger as well, and he's one of our favorites in terms of TV sitcoms. Do you want to guess who it is?
TV sitcoms, I'm going to guess it's Jeff Garland.
Yes, it's Jeff Garland. Ding, ding, ding. You guys look so much alike. It's awesome. You could basically be a star in Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I've heard that not only am I a doppelganger, but that I have a voice similar to his as well. So I've gotten the Jeff Garland one many times. I was in the same press box with him at Wrigley Field one time, but I wasn't quick enough to get over there to introduce myself. I was dying to get a selfie with him just because of the number of times that I've heard this exact comparison.
Yeah, well, good. You're going to hear it
someday.
Yeah, you're going to hear it probably your entire life. But yeah, maybe someday you can snap that photo for us and send it over.
And I'm a huge Curb fan, so, I would love to meet him someday.
And you've got a really strong selfie game, so.
Yeah, that's right.
I do have a strong selfie game. At least that's what Allison and Brittany tell me.
It's all true. It's all true. Just get some of those specs and you'll be good to go.
There you go. Mark, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. I know you're super busy, but always an honor having you on the show.
Thanks, folks.
Take care.
Thanks, Mark.
All right, we're talking doppelgangers, and that was a pretty good one to start us off, Danny. But we have some other baseball doppelgangers. The one that I saw recently was Christian Yelich hanging out with Pete Davidson of SNL. And these two, man, I'm telling you, if Pete Davidson just had smiled a little bit and showed some teeth, these two would look the exact same. But I feel like they're already super doppelgangers for each other. We've got a bunch of other doppelgangers in baseball. We're going to grade them using a scale 5 to 10.
Right.
These are so hot that 1 through 5, we just threw that out in the garbage. So 5 to 10 is where we're going to go. 5 being the least likely lookalikes, 10 being the most. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right, so doppelganger number 1.
Okay.
Mike Trout and NFL quarterback Matt Barkley.
Okay.
How much do you think that these two look alike? No, a lot of people have said because of Matt Barkley's facial hair, and Mike Trout is often clean-shaven. Maybe they don't look that much alike. Danny?
Yes?
What are you going to grade this?
I'm giving it a 10.
Whoa, off the bat? You think that's the best one?
Dude, the teeth and the shape of their mouth are exactly the same. Can we cue that up again? Because look at their teeth and their mouth. It's scary.
I think to me they both just look like large athletes. I don't know that they don't have the same nose. They don't have the same ears. Look, Mike Trout's got much smaller ears.
Look at, oh my gosh, I'm doing 10. I got 10.
They're making the same expression. All right.
Okay.
So 7 and 10. So we're not on the same page. Let's see if we're on the same page for doppelganger number 2.
All right, we have Jim Thome and Buzz Lightyear.
Oh, no! Y'all are killing me with this one.
Oh my god.
No way that these two look alike. No, thank you. Buzz Lightyear is the Space Ranger of all Space Rangers. Love Jim Thome. They do not look alike. No, thank you.
The one thing they have the same is that smile. Both very thin-lipped. No offense, Jim Thome and or Buzz Lightyear, but the smile, it's kind of just like this. No, not really like moving anywhere.
Just kind of straight across, yeah. And where Jim Thome doesn't have any sort of curly hair on his chin like Buzz Lightyear.
Maybe he did at one point in life.
Get it together, people. All right. This is ridiculous. I apologize to Jim Thome on behalf of everyone here at 1225 Live. All right, number 3. How about Justin Turner? And we know this is obviously going to be somebody with a giant beard. Yes, Tormund from Game of Thrones.
This is your jam right here.
This is my jam, and I do think they look a lot alike. Although, don't go ahead and tell me that everyone with a giant red beard looks alike.
Yeah,
just these two, I feel like, look a lot alike.
It's the
if
beard.
You're not familiar with Game of Thrones, he's a bad character. Good, bad.
Good, good, bad.
Good, bad.
Good, bad. Okay, I don't know what that means still.
I'm giving him an 8.
Okay, well, Justin Turner is also good, bad, so.
That's right.
Yeah.
So they look pretty much alike.
Same person. Next up, Hunter Pence and Marv from Home Alone. Yes. I love it.
Come on, these guys are the exact same person. Sometimes I feel like Hunter Pence first was in Home Alone and then was a member of the Giants.
Yeah, he definitely could do a double life.
Yeah, and now he runs a coffee shop with his wife. So to me, this is literally the gold standard of doppelgangers.
Marv from Home Alone probably wouldn't own a coffee shop, but Marv probably drinks a lot of coffee.
That's true.
You have to drink a lot of coffee if you're going to rob a lot of people.
That's right.
You got to stay
Be
awake.
Up late at night. All right, one more here in terms of our baseball doppelgangers.
That's
Kyle
right.
Schwarber, how much does he look like Joe Blanton?
Ooh, I like this one a lot, actually. I'm very into this. And Kyle Schwarber has cut down, if anyone's seen on social media. That guy is shredding, and he's eating healthy, and he just wants to be in the best shape of his life. And I'm telling you, I think he might be.
Well, that's why I think they don't particularly look alike right now, because yeah, Schwarber is ripped, and he's losing weight as we speak.
That's
so
too
I'm going to give
generous.
this one a 6. And you're going with an 8. All right.
The shape of their head is very similar.
It is very similar, and they do
Yeah.
have a little bit of
The facial hair,
Yeah,
the
facial hair right
goatee,
there on
you
the
can
chin.
see. Yeah.
which is an odd length because it doesn't really define itself in terms of their chin. All right, how about our doppelgangers?
How about 'em?
We put our pictures in a generator.
Oh, wow. That's so good.
Olivia Wilde.
Okay, chins.
I like her. She's cool.
She's great. Chins, cheeks,
Blonde.
blonde.
All blondes look alike. Let's be honest.
You both have red on.
That's right. I did a good job
This
with
is
this
a
one.
very good job. I'm gonna give this I'm gonna go with 8 because I'm generous today.
I'm gonna go 10 because I would like to look like Olivia Wilde and like to think that I look like Olivia Wilde. So I'm going with a 10.
Okay.
All right, Danny. Here's your doppelganger.
Yes.
Eva Longoria.
You know what?
Yeah.
Not Evan Longoria for the folks at home who might be confused. Eva Longoria. I would take this any day of the week.
Oh my gosh, you guys are both so beautiful.
She is stunning, and I would take that compliment any day of the week.
I'm going with a 10. Very nicely done.
Oh, thank
Through
you.
for
That's
both
nice.
of those.
Yes. All.
Very
thank
much
you.
appreciate that compliment.
Any day of the week.
that we look like superstars.
Someone walked across the street and was like, Eva, I would be like, hey, what's up, everybody?
That is me. Yes, you are correct. All right, and we got one bonus doppelganger.
Oh, shoot.
This is a surprise. You don't know what this is. Oh, yay! Danny looks like her mom, Mary.
I do look like
Ding,
my
ding,
mom.
ding. That is absolutely correct.
My little Mary, how adorable. I threw my papers down, but I give 10. I'll give 10 out of 10 too. Little Mary, yes, I get my color and my nose from my mom.
You guys are both very beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
and you are a exact look-alike.
You know what? Mary looks good for her age. We won't reveal her age yet, but it's coming up, and she looks dang good.
Oh my gosh.
So.
However many years young.
Yes.
Mary, for
yes.
sure.
Mary looks great. Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you. That was fun. All right, so we have
Trevor
an
Bauer.
interesting video. Yeah, let's talk about Trevor Bauer.
Trevor Bauer. All right, so he's doing some fun things. So a regulation baseball weighs 5 1/4 ounces. Did you know that?
I did know that.
Okay, I don't think I knew it was that light. I thought it was a little heavier. Well, Trevor Bauer's fastball averages around 90 miles per hour, in that range, right, during the regular season. Well, he was mid-90s, mid-90s, not 90s, mid-90s, and he was throwing a ball that weighs 3 ounces at 116.9 miles an hour in his training session. You can see this video, and he does this during warm-ups during a game. His last pitch is thrown as hard as possible. This is a crazy, crazy drill.
Well, and it's interesting, too, because you don't want to hurt your shoulder there. So, I mean, obviously he knows what he's doing. But the interesting part was during the season, Aroldis Chapman threw a ball 103 miles per hour.
Right.
A regular baseball
Per
in the
usual.
game against Eric Young Jr. Right. This is just what he does. This guy throws lightning. It was baseball's fastest pitch last season. So how fast do you think he could throw a 3-ounce ball is our question if he were to do this Trevor Bauer drill.
Right. So that requires math. And that's not something that I do anymore. So I'm going to say that if that is the case, then he would be throwing it at 122 miles per hour.
Yeah, I think our producer did the math and said 126 miles per hour.
Oh, you cheated? You got the number?
Absolutely incredible. Well, yeah, I guess he did the math.
Just
I
made
can't
my
do
brain
the math,
hurt.
but our producer TJ helped us out. I would love to see that without anyone getting hurt, but I don't really understand the drill. I'm a little confused.
You know what when I played softball, I had a pitcher who did that for her very last pitch as well. Obviously, it was around the horn all the way. But,
right.
I'm not sure. But I think it's to intimidate is what I would say. It's to intimidate the guy who's coming up to the plate and be like, you don't want to mess with me because I'm crazy.
Just one of those exclamation points on your final warm-up, right? To just be able to say, I got it today.
That's
Don't
right.
worry about that.
Don't mess with me.
Confident with that. All
Exactly.
right. Cool.
Trevor Bauer is a little, he's fired up, so.
Him and his drones.
Him and his drones. All right, so like we said today, it's National Milk Day.
Yeah.
There were some guys on a milk carton who are missing from a team. They don't have a home. We have a lot of great free agents still left on the board. Jay Bruce made the snowball go a little bit, but we're still waiting. So we asked you guys to put on your GM hats and let us know which person is next and where are they going.
Okay.
So I'm going to read you some of these, Lex, and I want you to let me know what you think. And if you're on Facebook now, you can tune in. I'm keeping an eye on it. So Neil said Lorenzo Cain, one of my favorite players, to the Jays. Now, the Jays have Kevin Pillar in center field, so that would mean he would have to move to left or right. I'm not sure at this point in time if he would be able to do that in such short notice, but he would also probably take a spot anywhere.
Yeah, I think Lorenzo Cain to the San Francisco Giants is the best fit there. They, really lacked in defensive efficiency this season. They need some help in the outfield. I could see that as a better fit before I could see him with the Blue Jays.
Okay, next one. Carl, you're going to like this. He said, "You is coming to Kansas City."
Nice.
Now, Yu Darvish did not list, there was not Kansas City listed,
No.
but Yu Darvish said there was one more team. So it could be the Royals. It could be the Royals. They have a decent rotation. Yu Darvish would take their rotation to a completely new level.
Sure.
So maybe that's the mystery team.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. Yeah, one, not on the list, and two, like Mark Feinsand said, I think one of the teams that was not listed that could potentially be that mystery team could be the Dodgers. So not sure that he could land there in Kansas City, but we'll see.
Okay. All right, so Renee, Alex Cobb will be the next to go, and he'll go to the Angels. Now, we just asked Mark this question of where he thinks Alex could go. He said most likely it would be Minnesota in Mark's eyes, right? So I'm not sure about the Angels, and I think that they're pretty set on their starting pitching after going out and getting Shohei Ohtani. And they've got Garrett Richards hopefully coming back at full strength, and Andrew Heaney as well. So.
Yeah. They've got a couple guys over there that struggled and also were not healthy last year that I think if they turn it around for next year, that rotation could be set. They need some help in their bullpen. So if that's what they're thinking about with Alex Cobb or potentially putting him in the rotation and moving one of their starters right now to the pen, I could see that happening. So.
Okay. Crazier things have happened.
Yeah.
Our last one, Steven. Lorenzo Cain's a popular guy today. Lorenzo Cain to the Mets. Now, listen, starting in center field for the Mets, we have Brandon Nimmo. So that would also cause a problem. I think Nimmo, I think he earned that spot last year. So I'm not 100% sure about that. So what do you think?
Oh, that could be tough too, but they do need a little help because Michael Conforto is not going to start the season. He's got that shoulder injury, they don't think. So, they need a little bit of outfield help before he returns, but I don't think that they're going to land somebody as big as him. They were talking about Mike Moustakas potentially in their infield too, and I think he's off the board. I think they would bring somebody in at a lower price range, a guy like Todd Frazier, and I think they might be done in the outfield with the Jay Bruce signing.
All right. Well, there you go. There you have it. So you know as much as we know. We know the same amount, so we're all still trying to scratch our heads and figure it out.
Yeah, we're trying to figure it out. Our final story here today on the show, we talked a lot about the Astros obviously winning the World Series, and they went on their victory parade tour. Now they're going on their trophy parade tour, essentially, taking that trophy all over the country, and a couple of other athletes in different sports have taken notice.
That's right. So Gerald Green, Houston Rockets, honored the Astros. He's got this star braided into his hair, and I can't imagine how long this took to get done. And by the way, they took down Portland to improve to 28-11 on the season, so maybe he'll keep it in his hair for as long as they keep winning. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. And Chris Paul was feeling pretty feisty last night, so him and Dame Lillard kind of went at it. I think this Rockets team has a lot of good mojo from the Astros coming their way. That's not all from Houston, by the way. Let's take a look at Orbit. Our own Allison Footer posted this on Twitter. She was hanging out with the team at a fast food chain, and he was chucking sandwiches all over the place. It was pretty funny. The fact that the crowd there, people love free stuff, right, Danny? People will go crazy for whatever free you were throwing at their face. It doesn't matter.
This is my dream. I want someone to throw a Chick-fil-A spicy chicken sandwich with 7 different kinds of sauces at me. Please, just somebody run by, do a chicken buy, whatever. Throw the chicken at me. This is a dream come true. And again, yes, anything free is always amazing.
Giving back to the people of Houston in the most bizarre way. But hey, listen, that's how you got to get it done.
Sign me up.
Yeah, they're all for it.
Yeah, I love it.
All right, thanks, Danny.
You're welcome. I'll see you tomorrow.
Appreciate it. See you tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching us today here on 1225 Live. Big thanks to Mark Feinsand for joining us and for all the information that he brings to the show. We're going to do it all again tomorrow, so make sure you are here. Same time, same place. Friday edition of 1225 Live. See you then.